Well, just giving you an update on our property. As you can see, we've got a nice big John Deere 310 tractor. We're working on some additional drainage for some of the ponds we put in, and we're working on the hugel culture, a hugel pit. And well, we've had a lot of rain. We've had over 24 inches of rain this month. So our ground table is saturated and there's really nowhere for the water to go. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing we can see it now with so much rain. We know where we need to work on. It kind of delayed us in doing some other projects that we had in mind, but it worked out well that my son had planned on running the tractor this month anyway. So we have the proper equipment to work on our drainage. I'm going to shift over here. This is one of the ponds that we put in. Let's see if I can get a good view on it. We're about 40 or 50 feet away from the edge of the pond, actually, so you can see how high it's gone. So it flows over in this area. So my son had gotten the backhoe and we actually built up the road with some of our dirt that we had when we put the pond in. So that works out, and that's going to be actually where the road's at, is about 10 foot short of how far we plan on expanding this pond. So this is a good indication of our highest level ever. And what we did is we had to put in some drainage. So here you can see where we ran the 2 4-inch drain pipes in here. Now this is all temporary right now. We plan on, we'll cement this and actually put up a little back wall on it to reinforce it. So as we build up the road, we don't have to worry about anybody stepping in and driving into it. But that drainage pit, those 4-inch drain pipe run across the road. It's about 40-50 feet to this drainage ditch that we put in here. Now this drainage ditch, we went back and actually deepened it out based on the amount of rain we had. It was pretty significant. And this is about 3 days after the rains, the last rains we've had. So to give you an indication of how much flow is just coming out. I mean, this has dropped off significantly from what it was. But the other part of the process is we've got the road in, and on the other side of this road here, we plan on putting in 2 hugel culture mounds. And right now they're just 2 hugel pits filled with water, kind of like a swimming pool. Come over here and give you an idea. This is how saturated the groundwater is right now. It's just completely full. The ground really can't absorb any more water. And so this is our future hugel pit. And now what we're doing is, over here you can see we're planning on putting a drainage ditch in here to drain this off, and that's what we're working on, connecting up the final leg right now. Okay, we're on the other side of the road, and you can see there in the distance the hugel pit and the ditch that's going to it. And this is our ditch that we've made, our drainage ditch. This one here goes around and connects to the other one that we've got already draining. So it looks fairly deep, but it's one of the importance is when you have a tract of land and you plan on growing things and making ponds, is just being aware of what your elevations are and making sure that you're not building in the bottom of the bowl where all the water goes. Currently we're actually at the highest point of our property, and there's about overall 10 feet difference from the highest point to our lowest, 10 to 15 feet. But we have a positive flow here, and we're excited to get this connected and drain off some of this water. Okay, we had to take a little break. We had some technical difficulty, but just to give you a quick glimpse of where we're at, we've leveled out the ditch that's getting ready to go across the road. And as you can see the water that's already in the ground saturating. It's just seeping out and it's starting to cave in. So we're trying to get this cleared out. Right here is about 2.5 feet. What looks like sand right there is just foam on top of the water. So there's almost a 3.5 foot difference. And we're getting ready to break through that last foot and a half. And then this water is just going to be a torrent coming out of here. So the next time you see this, we'll be knocking down this little bit of dam. We're getting ready to bust through. Hopefully this should be pretty exciting. And there it goes. Now our intent is to put a drain pipe in here, but as you can see, we really have to address the water, the little backwater that we have. Once this flows out, then we'll be putting some more drain pipe in here, and it'll take care of the issue. And hopefully we won't have any more problems with the high water here. That's why we don't want to be too close to this thing.
Yeah, you might want to back it a bit. It's doing a divot underneath from the weight of the water.
Okay, so over here on the left is the ditch we put in connecting to the pond. And over here is where we connected in for the drainage for the hugel pit. So we're just coming along. And again, it's about another 2 or 3 feet of incline or grade that this ditch goes down. Sorry about that. Sorry for the jostled camera. I'm climbing up and down over hills and mounds and also dodging spider webs because they're so fun.
I said I don't think it'll be very comfortable. You have to watch the recording.
Okay. So as it comes around, this was one of our first irrigation controls. You see how wide this is. The irrigation ditch is actually only about 1.5 feet, and then it kind of runs parallel to a little footpath.
It caused the area to go ahead and flood up. It floated it and tipped it over.
But all this water
What?
is just from that drainage. And it will, hopefully by today, it will be back down again. Okay, so we're back to the starting point. And right here where I'm looking at is where that last basically scoop full of dirt busted the dam and it flowed. And if you look back before where it looked all level, you can really see the difference in all that water, which is really holding up our pits, our hugel ponds, are now draining out. So we'll actually be able to get some stuff back in there and actually start being able to plant, get some debris, some dirt, some compost, and get our gardens going. Okay, this is the hugel pond. We referred to the hugel pond earlier when it was just full, so you could see how much water it was just being retained in there. So we now have our preps for our hugel culture ready to go. The far end of that, there's actually another hugel pit about the same size, maybe actually a little bit longer, and we're going to have to put a little drainage and culvert to that to drain that one out also. That's the next step. Back. Okay. The actual drainage happened a lot faster than I expected, which I'm very happy about. You can see we still have a substantial amount of water to go through, but the majority of it come through, and the good thing is that the rate at which it did, it really leveled this out for the most part. So we got a nice even grade going across the road, so we can pitch our drain pipe the way we want to. There's a couple of high spots, but for the most part we've got them laid in. We've got some cinder block holding the front two in at the height we want to keep them in place. And then we're basically going to start backfilling this, locking in first a little bit, shovel at a time, to lock in the drain pipe, and then we'll just backfill it with the bucket on the shovel, on the tractor. So that's where we're at. I just got to take care of this spot. It's a little high. Now we're just going to try and lock it in place with some dirt. You want to bring the bucket over here, bud?